you have a situation where, like a person in the 90s, right? In the 90s, you got some money, okay, for wedding. You said you didn't have a penny. You got some money for wedding in the 90s. In 2000 thereabouts, you came again for money for rent, right? And in 2025, you are still coming to ask for money again. And it is not that I don't even believe that you even prayed to God before you even came to ask, because if you have prayed to God sincerely, I believe God would have told you that this person is going through stuff, they don't have that money, but you just put that blanket, or whatever it is, that shopping list, you just throw it out and say this person will help. Life is not like that. And in most cases, in some cases, you are not a giver. That is why in most cases you are where you are, because God cannot lie. If you are serving God, I'm not saying you must be a billionaire or you must be a millionaire, but if you are serving God sincerely, genuinely, God will always provide for you. It might be in small measures, might be in medium measures, it might be in huge measures, but God cannot fail. So please let people stop making it look like that God is a failure, because he is not. I have tried God in my life and I have seen that he's my all in all. He's my Alpha and Omega. I'm sorry to have deviated from the main issue of those who help and later they come back and they want all from you. So if you fall within the two categories, don't ever make man your source. When you rely on man for your source, even if that man is able to do it, or the man is capable, the man can fail. You know why? Because God would not allow somebody else to take his glory. Yes, God will not allow somebody else to take his glory. So, but when you make God your source, he will draw men to you to give to you. And one thing again, I want to advise you: always forgive. A lot of people are grounded in their lives because of unforgiveness. You see some people, they even boast about it, say, man, I never forgive, I will not forgive that person. But you are making a big mistake, brother or sister. You are making a big mistake. Hate does not work. You might think it works for you. It does not really work. Look at Donald Trump. With all the hate against him, they almost destroyed him, destroyed his business. Oh, look at what's happening to him today. There's a guy in Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan. Everyone that hated him, that did so many things to him, then that took him out of power, where are they today? A lot of them, they have seen their own issues in their life as well. In the Bible, Solomon, when God appeared to Solomon before God blessed him, he said because he did not ask for the lives of his enemies. Do you get that? God Almighty, that knows that we have enemies that fight for us, he told Solomon that because he did not ask for the lives of his enemies, even though his father killed a lot of enemies, but it gives you the mindset of God, that the things that we think is the right things that we do. Like, for example, God talks about love your enemies and pray for them. He said, in so doing, that prayer and that goodness that you do for them become a coal of fire upon their head. But we as human beings, we want fire. You say, fall down and die. Bring them down. Let God destroy them. But in most cases, the mind of God is different. Recently, I was talking with my wife. No, it wasn't recently, it was a while ago. And what happened was that initially there was a station we're talking about. about how wicked people can be. We're talking about ritualists, occult people, and all the kind of evil things they do. I will not say, why do they really do that, in terms of, kidnapping a child, for example, and they kill that child and use that child for money rituals. If you are not from Africa, you might not understand what I'm saying, but we from Africa, I believe we know what we are saying. Okay? So she now told me that she believed that for evil to be evil, there has to be there has to be wickedness in it. You understand? That means for evil to be evil. So if you are an occult person and you've taken some oaths to do evil or to make money from evil things, that signature of evil must be in the things that you do, or wickedness has to be in it. That is why it falls within that category of evil or wickedness. So in my wife's discussion, and I was like something like that. Then recently again, I heard a preacher was talking about God and his goodness, and how even though we are not saved, some of us, that God is still merciful, that God is a good God. And it just downloaded in me that because God is a good God, you see, so most of the things that God does, the signature of goodness has to be in it, because he's God and because he's a good God. So in God's eyes, everything is good. You understand? Unless if God singles you out like Esau, when he says, Jacob I love, Esau I hate. So that's a different ballgame entirely. So I don't know what you've done in the spiritual world that God hates you. But God is a loving God. That is why he accepts everyone who comes to him and gives that salvation, because he's a good God. If this makes sense to you, would you please drop a comment on my comment section? I would like to read them and we can talk more in future. God bless you and have a nice day. Bye.